It was supposed to stay buried, a brutal moment caught on camera, sealed away in a hotel's security file, never to see the light of day. But now, the man who says he helped cover it up is speaking out, and what he's revealing might be the most damaging allegation yet against Sean "Diddy" Combs. According to sworn testimony, the music mogul didn't just want the footage gone, he allegedly paid cold, hard cash to make it disappear. We're talking personal phone calls, desperate pleas, NDAs, and $100,000 that reportedly changed hands behind closed doors. The footage in question? A video that allegedly shows Diddy assaulting his longtime girlfriend, Cassie. And now, the hotel's security officer who says he handed over that file is pulling back the curtain on what really went down, step by step. But this isn't just about one video, it's about power, silence, and what some will do to protect it. Let's get into it. It began with a random phone call from a New York area code. On the other end, Christina Courtroom, a name tied closely to Diddy's business empire. She wasn't calling for a routine check-in. According to former hotel security officer Eddie Garcia, she had one goal: get the footage. Garcia says Courtroom wasted no time getting to the point. She allegedly told him that Diddy had been intoxicated during the now infamous incident with Cassie, and even claimed he didn't remember any of it. That alone raised eyebrows. Why call a security guard to share that kind of detail unless you're worried about what might be caught on tape? Garcia didn't bite. He told her bluntly that anything involving hotel surveillance would have to go through upper management, no exceptions. But Courtroom wasn't taking no for an answer. This wasn't just damage control, it was the start of a full-blown scramble behind the scenes to bury whatever was on that video, and this was just the beginning. After hitting a wall with Garcia, Courtroom showed up at the hotel in person, determined to get her hands on the footage, but Garcia held his ground, repeating the same line: no access without proper clearance. She left empty-handed, at least for the moment. But then things escalated. Garcia says his phone rang again. This time, Diddy himself was on the call. No middlemen, no assistants, just the bad boy mogul, allegedly frantic, nervous, and begging for help. According to Garcia, Diddy didn't sugarcoat it. He told him straight up. The video could ruin his career, not might, would. And that's when Garcia says the conversation took a turn. Diddy allegedly hinted that he could take care of him and make things work. It didn't sound like a plea anymore, it sounded like an offer. Garcia says he played it cool, telling Diddy that he didn't have the footage, but the pressure didn't stop. Diddy allegedly called his personal phone later on, continuing to push for a solution. Behind the scenes, something bigger was being set in motion, and what happened next changed everything. With Diddy allegedly still pressing, Garcia knew he couldn't handle this alone, so he brought in his supervisor, Bill Medrano, a man with more authority, and according to Garcia, less hesitation. Garcia claims that when he explained the situation, Medrano didn't flinch. In fact, his response was blunt. He'd do it for $50,000. That was the price to make the video vanish. Garcia says he called Diddy back and gave him the offer, and apparently, that's all Diddy needed to hear. He didn't argue, he didn't hesitate. Instead, he allegedly called Garcia his angel for following through. Not exactly the kind of language you expect from a man facing career-ending consequences, unless he believed this move would save everything. From there, the operation kicked into gear. Medrano handed over the file. Garcia had the footage, and the plan to deliver it straight into Diddy's hands was already underway. But what Diddy allegedly did when they met in person, that raised even more questions. With the file in hand, Garcia says he made his way to a building in Los Angeles, where Diddy was already waiting. This wasn't just a drop-off. According to Garcia, the meeting felt intense, like Diddy needed absolute certainty the video was truly gone. First question out of Diddy's mouth? Whether this was the only copy. Garcia says he didn't have the answer, so he called Medrano on the spot. Medrano allegedly assured both of them the footage had been wiped from their servers. No backups, no leaks, no trail. But Diddy wasn't done yet. According to Garcia, Diddy then pulled Cassie into the conversation, FaceTiming her right there in the room. He allegedly said that she didn't want the video to go public, claiming she had a movie coming up and needed to keep things quiet. That moment added a strange layer. Was Diddy trying to justify the cover-up, shift the reason, or just make it feel mutual? Garcia says things moved fast after that. He was asked to hand over his ID, along with Medrano's and another name, Israel Flores. But here's where it gets even more tangled. Flores reportedly refused to take any money, so Garcia allegedly gave Diddy a different ID instead, belonging to another guard, Henry Elias, who'd responded the night Cassie was attacked. 3 names, 1 video, and a silence that came with a price tag. And that price was about to double. What started as a $50,000 deal didn't end there. Garcia says the payout ballooned, allegedly doubling to $100,000, split 3 ways between himself, Medrano, and the stand-in guard, Henry Elias. But the money didn't come without strings. According to Garcia, before a single dollar exchanged hands, Diddy's team brought out NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, legal documents designed to keep mouths shut. And it wasn't just Diddy and Garcia in the room. Christina Courtroom and one of Diddy's security guards were allegedly there too, watching the entire transaction unfold. Garcia describes the scene like a business deal, tense, controlled, and final. IDs were collected, documents were signed, and the cash delivered. Garcia walked away with his share and said he used it to buy a used car. Not a luxury vehicle, not a mansion, just a car. A quiet reward for what could be considered one of the biggest video wipeouts in recent music industry history. But even after the payout, the story wasn't over, because when Garcia tried to reach back out to Diddy months later, he got nothing. After the dust settled, Garcia says he expected something. Maybe a job lead, a favor, at the very least a connection. After all, he'd just done what many wouldn't. Allegedly delivered the one thing that could have torched Diddy's empire and helped bury it for good. And at first, it seemed like there was still a line of communication. Garcia says Diddy even reached out to wish him a happy Easter, a friendly gesture that hinted the door might still be open, but that was the last call he ever got. Garcia says when he tried to follow up, when he reached out looking for work, for opportunities, for anything, Diddy went silent. No response, no callback, nothing. Just complete radio silence. For Garcia, that silence hit hard. He'd taken a risk, broken the rules, allegedly helped orchestrate a massive cover-up, and in the end, he was left out in the cold, used, discarded, and forgotten. But what he didn't know then was that this silence was only the beginning, because years later, he'd be the one breaking it on the witness stand. And what he revealed could unravel everything. Years passed. The hotel closed, the story faded, at least in public, but behind the scenes, the pressure was mounting, allegations were swirling, lawsuits were stacking up, and Diddy's carefully guarded image was starting to crack. Then, in a stunning move, Eddie Garcia stepped forward. On June 3rd, he took the stand under oath and laid it all out. The phone calls, the bribe, the FaceTime with Cassie, the $100,000 payout allegedly meant to make the video disappear. Every detail came pouring out in front of federal prosecutors, and suddenly this wasn't just a rumor or whisper, it was sworn testimony, backed by specific names, dates, and amounts. What's more, Garcia didn't come empty-handed. According to reports, investigators are now working to corroborate his claims, digging into hotel records, financial transactions, and communications that could tie it all together. If any of it checks out, it could spell a whole new level of legal trouble for Diddy. We're talking obstruction, conspiracy, and potential witness tampering. And in a case already packed with explosive claims, Garcia's testimony may be the most damaging piece yet. But as shocking as his story is, there's one final twist. For decades, Diddy was seen as untouchable, a hip-hop mogul who turned music into millions and influence into a dynasty. But now, that image is collapsing under the weight of allegations that keep piling up. Eddie Garcia's testimony didn't just pull back the curtain, it ripped it off entirely. If even part of his story is proven true, it paints a picture of panic, cover-ups, and a desperate scramble to protect a crumbling empire. And the most haunting part? Garcia wasn't an enemy. He was allegedly a fixer, a helper, someone who played along when the stakes were at their highest. Yet even he says he was tossed aside once his usefulness ran out. Now, the video that was once erased from the servers is making headlines in courtrooms. And while Diddy hasn't been convicted of anything related to Garcia's claims, the damage to his reputation may already be irreversible. This isn't just about a scandal. It's about a legacy that may never recover, and as more witnesses come forward, this story might only be getting started. What started as whispers about a mysterious hotel video has now turned into sworn testimony under federal investigation. And if Eddie Garcia's claims hold weight, this isn't just about a celebrity scandal. It's about an empire built on image and protected through silence. Allegedly, Diddy didn't just try to erase a video. He tried to erase a moment that could redefine how the world sees him. But the truth has a way of resurfacing, no matter how much money is on the table. Now, the spotlight is back on, and this time it's in a courtroom, not a nightclub. More witnesses could come forward, more secrets might leak, and the legacy Diddy spent decades building, it's hanging by a thread, because in the end, no cover-up lasts forever.